The sound that once shook church rafters fell silent, and the family finally admitted what so many feared. Rance Allen, the thunder and honey voice of contemporary gospel, had been fighting battles far away from spotlights and Sunday ovations. To fans, he was an endless well of energy, smiling, testifying, modulating to impossible heights. But behind that smile was a private war with a failing body and a schedule that wouldn't let him rest. The announcement of his passing split the gospel world right down the middle, grief on one side, disbelief on the other. How could a voice that felt immortal be gone? And why did the story of his last days feel incomplete, like a hymn missing its final chorus? The first wave of reaction was pure shock, then pure worship. Choirs clipped old performances, pastors pressed play on something about the name Jesus, and timelines filled with testimonies of how one man's voice rescued people in their darkest valleys. His wife Ellen stood steady in the storm, saying he left in peace, no fear, no bitterness, only rest. But it was her next words that lingered. Rance had been tired in body, fierce in spirit for far longer than anyone knew. Close friends whispered about heart complications, diabetes, and a weight that made even short walks feel like pilgrimages. Still, he dressed, prayed, and stepped to the mic. When the track cued, the pain bowed. To understand the ending, you have to revisit the climb. From storefront churches to worldwide stages, Rance Allen fused sanctified conviction with R&B phrasing, turning worship into a living, breathing conversation. He wasn't just singing, he was testifying in key changes. That innovation came with crushing expectations. Always be on, always be uplifting, always be Rance. As tours stacked and invitations multiplied, the cost grew steeper: longer travel, shorter recovery, and a body paying the tab for a gift the world demanded. He hid the struggle because he believed the call was heavier than the cross he carried. "If I have breath," he told Ellen, "I'll spend it praising." But the twist, the one the family later confirmed, was the choice that promised help and brought heartbreak. Doctors suggested a procedure, routine but not without risk, one last effort to extend his time and ease the strain. The family hoped for relief, not farewell. In the days before, Rance grew contemplative, talking more about heaven as home and legacy as obligation. Some say he sounded ready, almost relieved, like a pilgrim finally seeing a porch light. And then destiny turned. What should have stabilized him became the turning point that took him away. The rumors rushed in before the flowers even arrived. Was the procedure botched? Did the risk outweigh the benefit? Insiders hinted that his health had been more fragile than the public ever saw. Others whispered of something unexpected in the hospital. Old interviews resurfaced, and fans parsed every word for prophecy. Was his calm a sign he knew? The family asked for grace. The internet demanded answers. In the absence of detail, narratives collided: a medical misstep, a clock that simply ran out, a saint who slipped from the choir stand into the everlasting. Through it all, the tributes were a flood. Kirk Franklin called him a bridge. Fred Hammond called him a blueprint. Younger artists called him the voice that taught them to believe their own. Ellen shared that the house felt too quiet, the air missing its constant hum of scales and scripture. Yet even in grief, she chose worship over bitterness, organizing tributes, lifting unreleased vocals, and keeping his mission on schedule. One posthumous track landed like a benediction, lyrics about going home, about rest, about the work being finished. It felt less like a release, and more like a hand on the shoulder from the other side. And now, the question that won't let go. What do we do with a legend whose last lesson was surrender? The official explanations may never match the ache of what-ifs, but the legacy refuses debate. Rance Allen didn't just perform gospel, he embodied it. If his body failed, his faith did not. If rumors rose, his message roared louder. Perhaps the family accepted what we all feared, so the rest of us could accept what he always knew: that purpose outlives people, and praise outlasts pain. The voice is silent, the sound remains. What do you think about this news? Let us know in the comments below.